What's going on, YouTube? It's Q back here again with another video for you. In today's video, I'm here to give you all an update on what happened since the incident at the Acura dealership. If you can turn around and see my car, I got a full set of the copper wheels. Just kidding. This is what the car came with. I ordered the car this way, got the demo model. I got the copper wheels already. These are my summer set of tires. The ones that got damaged, those were my all-season sets of tires or for winter tires. But yeah, that's the one that the dealership scratched. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I'll put the links in the description. The dealership just treated me like garbage, and now I'm here, but they scratched my wheel. Service was just horrible. My front bumper is misaligned. It's been that way. Whoever installed the illuminated emblem, they didn't align it the right way. It's still
Sir,
not
it's
aligned.
nothing but a plastic clip that holds it in there.
It's misaligned. It's not
There
about
is
it
no
being.
alignment. It snaps into a clip.
It's not lined up. That's off.
That's exactly the way they come.
That is not how they come. Are you serious? Are you
Sir,
serious?
what else can I do?
Are you serious? This only stood up because it's plain as day. It's the scuff on my wheel, and that's a shame.
And I'm sorry that you can't remember where it happened, but
So this is that's a shame, man. That's terrible.
Okay.
So,
As I told you, we drove it straight
so this
into
is
the shop.
the service. That was the service director of the service department I was dealing with as well. So that was the top guy to talk to. That's under a general manager. But I'll get into all of that in just a moment here. So definitely want to thank you guys for chiming into the video, leaving the comments, leaving the reviews from the dealership. So without you guys, like, nothing would have happened. Definitely thank everybody that left the feedback. So this video has caught fire, and the right eyes have seen it. Some of the right eyes have seen it. So I reached out to some pretty prestigious people. Unfortunately, I didn't get a response. I reached out to John Rivers. That's the head guy of the Integra at Acura. Didn't hear anything from him, but I'm about to give you all an update on exactly what happened since the dealership incident. So before you leave the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, follow the channel. Let's jump into it. Let me start by saying what I expected from the dealership the day this incident happened. So from reading all the comments, I would expect the dealership to have taken pictures of the car before it came into the dealership, as opposed to depending on me for my proof. Like, that's them. I'm blaming them. So a lot of dealerships, they do take photos of the cars before they go into service, which this dealership didn't do, or they didn't say anything about it. They basically just put all the blame on me, which was, I haven't seen anything like that before. And a lot of people said that I was calm in the whole situation, but it's like if I would have matched his energy, like, nothing would have come out of it. I think he wanted a reaction from me so he can get me on film just being violent, which I expected. That's what I think he wanted me to be, but no, that wouldn't have solved anything. I still would have been in the same predicament. I still would have had to scratch the rim, and nothing would have happened. The dealership was closing. I want to get that out the way. It was like 10 minutes before they were closing. A lot of people say they would have left the car there. I needed my car. That's why I went there. I had a family emergency going on, so I just went there to get the car. Like, I had something bigger than a scratched rim and terrible service going on, so I didn't even have time to, like, deal with that. That was at the bottom of the totem pole for me. I had, like, pressing issues. All I expected was for them to fix the wheel. Like, the oil change, I would have expected that to be done already. So oil change, they would have been like, oh, let me just change the oil real quick. It doesn't take that long to change the oil. Scrape wheel, I could have came back another day, but all of that was declined. Like, he just deflected every kind of blame I placed on them, which is their fault for some of it. Some of this is straight from the manufacturer. I don't think the front bumper was this misaligned. They did work it out a little bit, but from the factory, some of these do come misaligned. This extra goop of clear coat on here, I didn't even get a chance to address that with them, and I would take it to somebody else to do. My scrape rim, that was the huge thing, and that was more so, I felt the disrespect from that. That was nothing but disrespect. I'm like, yo, give me my respect. Like, I didn't do anything to deserve that. So, but amongst other issues like interior rattles, I didn't even get the nitpicking on everything. I got a long list of every issue that I had. So what did I have to do from that point? I had to call corporate. So I called Acura/Honda corporate. They got an 800 number, Google that. Called them, filed a claim. described everything. So I made 2 claims with them. One was a verbal phone call where I had to tell them what was going on. And the second one, since they weren't able to receive a video from me, which is just a YouTube link, they told me to file a secondary claim. They ended up linking the 2 together, and I just put the same description that I had told them and added the YouTube video for them to review. So after submitting my claim, it took maybe a week to get a response back from them. And they assigned an incident manager, called for an update, and they're like, oh, you'll be assigned an incident manager. And a couple of days later, that person called me. I missed their call, called back, left a message, spoke to them like the next day. And a lot of people said this in the comments, but Acura, the corporate of Honda, is useless. And they pretty much were useless. So this was what their remedy was for me. This is what they told me. They were saying that the dealerships and Acura, they're private owned, so I would have to go through the dealership to resolve the dealership issue. I had so many issues, and they didn't even get to that, but let me just break it down for what I'm talking about. So with the rim, they said I would have to talk to the dealership about that. I'm like, I have been talking to the dealership. Did you not watch the video? I was at the dealership. They're like, oh, you have to talk to a service manager. I'm like, that was the director of service in the video. What else can I do? They're like, oh, talk to the general manager. You go to their website, there is no general manager. And so it's like nothing they can do to help. So you go to the website, there's a few people. There's a sales manager, and that's the guy that sold me the car. And I actually spoke to him, and he placed the blame on me too. I'm like, dog, what the heck is up with this? Like, and he was like, I'm telling him, like, I need to talk to a general manager. Like, who's it? So Acura of Troy, the dealership right behind it, and I believe I said this in the video where I purchased the car, Mike Savoy Chevy, that dealership owns the Acura dealership too. I had to go to their website and contact that person there, and I'll put his name on the screen. So that who the general manager for both dealerships, or the Acura dealership at least, was at the Chevy dealership. So I had to contact them. We'll get back to that later on. So this guy was like, he's not going to want to talk to you. I'm like, why not? He was like, the way that you attacked us. I'm like, attacked you? Have you seen the video? And he's like, no. Got a clip of that. It was just me on a phone call with him. It's crazy. Hello.
Hey, Q. It's going.
Hey, how's it going?
It's all right. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
That's good.
Calling to see if I can get some help from you. So I had
Well, yeah, them times are over now after what you did. He won't even talk to you now. The guy's name's Jeff Grew. He's stationed over at the Chevy store.
Oh, Jeff Grew?
Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty much over from this end, I think. Talking to them.
Oh, you say you don't think he's willing to talk?
It's not after everything that's going on. No, I would think not.
Nah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, well, probably should have talked to him before the assault.
Before I got assaulted?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. What did I do? Yeah. Did you see the video?
No, I haven't watched him. I don't.
No, it was the assault was all on me.
Yeah. But anyway, that's his name. That's where he's at, over at the Mike Savoy Chevrolet store.
Okay.
He's the GM of this place.
Okay, well, I'll give him a call. So I'm talking to Acura corporate, and I'm asking them about the engine too. Like the wheel, they're like, that's the deal with the dealership, and I keep going back and forth with them. I wish I would have recorded that because it was a stupid conversation. So I'm talking to them about the engine oil. I'm like, when you rebuild an engine, do you or do you not replace engine oil when you rebuild an engine? She's like, sir, I can't answer that. I'm not a technician. I'm like, what are you on the phone for? Like, what are you doing? Like, you can't answer simple questions. Does engine oil get added to an engine rebuild? She couldn't answer that. And she told me to just talk to the dealership, work with the dealership. I'm beefing with the dealership at this point. In my car, they're not going to service my car. Well, I couldn't trust him after the service director. For him to sabotage my car, you saw how he acted in the video. Like, why would I work with him? Coming back to that later on as well. So then I told her straight up, like, if I got to see this guy face to face, I'm not going to be as calm as the first time. I was able to hold it together, but next time I might not be so nice. So I'm like, if you want to send an angry customer over to this guy face to face, whatever happens, that's on you. So then I escalated that. I'm like, who's over you? She's like, sir, I'm your incident manager. Like, somebody's over you. You're low level to me. So I'm like, I want to talk to who's above you. Sir, they're going to tell you the same thing. So at this point, I'm like, okay, just had them call me. Never heard a call. That's been days ago, and I don't expect to hear a call from them. So what I did do, I did end up calling the Chevy dealership, Mike Savoy Chevy, to talk to the general manager. And I called, left a message, didn't hear anything for a couple days later. So the general manager, he did his job. This is what I expected from the service manager. He was apologetic about what happened. And he was like, what can I do to make this situation right? What do you want from us? He was like, we can do the oil change. We can fix the wheel, like the bumper alignment. He kept telling me like the bumper from the factory, sometimes they do come misaligned, which he's right on that, they do. And they did fix it somewhat, but it's still a little bit off. But it was horrible in the initial part of the video. It was just way off. So he was saying they would have to like drill into like the front bumper. They haven't done that before, but to make it perfect, that's what they would have to do. And I'm like, I don't want y'all to touch my engine. I just want my wheel repaired. And by this time I put my copper wheels on. I'm like, I can just bring the wheel to you, to the Chevy dealership. I'm like, are you guys gonna be like replacing the wheel or just fixing it? He was like, oh, we're gonna see if the technician in the garage can just fix it. If not, then we'll send it out. Mind you, this is only like a $50 to $100 fix. I'm like, why is this such a big deal over $50 to $100? $200 at the max. Like, all we doing is refinishing the lip of a wheel. No big deal. In the essence of everything, it's just not a big deal, not a huge deal. It shouldn't have been this much. Like, the video shouldn't have. I'm thankful that I'm a YouTuber, but if this would have happened to somebody else that doesn't have this platform, it just would have been horrible. It just would have been gone unnoticed. Like, I got this platform, and thank you all for chiming in. Like, overwhelming views on this video, overwhelming comments. Like, it's hard for me to respond to all these comments, and I really can't. I just heard them all. The ones that make sense. A couple of idiots comment, but yeah. So I told them, I just want my wheel fixed at the end of the day. I don't want y'all touching my car. I just want my wheel fixed, which is what I wanted initially. I can just take it to another dealership to get the oil change. Thankfully, now my car is at 15%. I don't have to go through that stupid Acura rule where the engine is at, or the level, the percentage is at 15%. It was at 20% when I took it in. Now it's at 15%. So I can just go to any dealership and get regular maintenance done. But that should have been done with the service of an engine tear down. So the general manager asked me, he was like, can you please tell your viewers to stop bombing our dealership? Like, the rating just went down. And that was well deserved. And I'm like, y'all do what y'all do. I'm not gonna I didn't tell anybody to make a review or not. They saw the video. Y'all felt that on your heart to make the comments. And then, so the general manager did his homework. He came back, he was like, the engine is a dry sump. Do you know what that means? I'm like, enlighten me. So he's telling me, like, if the engine is cranked up, the oil would be all throughout the engine. So the car needs to be sitting as it has. Well, actually, it hasn't been sitting too long, but the car needs to be sitting to properly check the oil. So I'm probably not as low on the oil as I thought I was. But the oil was never refilled. That's just a problem on its own right there. So he did say that. The general manager came through with some common sense. Unlike his underling, like, I don't know what the heck Martin's problem was, but I asked about him. He said that I want to talk to them. Like, talk to him about what? Like, what is there to talk about? I just wanted my car fixed. And at this point, it's too late. So after that, I'm like, from this point, I just want an apology on camera. That's it, and fix my wheel. And then he was like, due to whatever reasons, with the attorneys and whatnot, basically he can't get on camera. But I'm like, I'm not gonna force you to do that. I'm not gonna beg for any of that. So I'm like, what's done is done. So then I'm asking the GM, like, when you tear down an engine, do you or do you not put the oil in the car afterwards? Simple question. He also can't answer the question. He seemed like a okay person compared to what the director of service is. But at this point, this is your job to protect the dealership. It's already like going downhill from here. So I'm like, he got 2 dealerships to protect. So I'm like, he's doing his job. I can't come in. You're doing your job. That's what you're supposed to do. So I'm asking about the service director, because these dealerships are so small. There's not too many heads, especially the Acura dealership. It's not heads of any department. It's just a general sales manager. There's a service rep and a service director. It's like 2 parts guys and like 2 salesmen. It's not a lot of staff there, and no telling who worked on the car. I don't even know. They're not listed on the meet staff on the website. I'm like, what's happening to Martin? Like, did he get fired or something? He was like, well, I didn't ask that, but he said that he'll be disciplined for that. I'm like, discipline? That guy should lose his job. He should really lose his job. That's the only reason I'm making this video now. Because we got an employee that he didn't even do a halfway decent job. He just did a horrible job. The worst way he could have handled that situation. No justice was served. They did offer to fix the wheel. And then I was supposed to take it in, but I thought about it after I got off the phone. I'm like, I just can't trust these guys, any of them. Like, the dealership's interest is to protect the dealership and to get profit. Like, for me personally, I think they would have sabotaged my wheel. I just can't trust them to do anything to my car. I don't want them touching my car, even if it is free. I'd rather pay out of my own pocket than to have them do the fix for free. I'm just going elsewhere. That's just that. So y'all make sure y'all do y'all due diligence when it comes to these dealerships. Definitely read the reviews. I thought since it was like, I don't know, I didn't think it would be this bad. Like, this is like one of those nightmare dealership issues. I didn't ever think this would happen. Like, all right, you gotta put a new part on, rebuild the engine. Like, the guys aren't even competent enough to do that. So I don't even trust the engine fix at this part. So it's like, I'm gonna go to another dealership. I just gotta make an appointment. I'm going to get my oil changed finally. I'm going to get the work that they did on my engine checked out. And then I'll address these other ticky-tack issues, the nitpicking things like the overspray, the clear coat, the interior rattles, if I can get my bumper perfectly aligned. And then one of the nitwits at the dealership created a YouTube account just to comment on the video to take sides with the dealership. I'm the type of person that can understand both sides, but this one was just idiotic. Like, some people say, like, I'm not siding with the dealership and whatnot, but just to throw information out there, dealerships operate like this, they do that. I can understand that objectively. But for this was clearly the dealership commenting, and they were like, oh, yeah, maybe they handled that wrong, but it's always two sides to a story. Like, the odds of somebody scraping a wheel on a test drive is not likely to happen. I'm like, all right, this is clearly the dealership. And I just had to laugh at that, screenshotted it, posted it up to Instagram, pinned the comment, started getting traction on it, and then they deleted the comment. But I got that receipt. So I spoke to a couple other dealerships to deal with this. A lot of people said I should do the maintenance myself. Don't really have that kind of time. I do have the time, but it's not what I want to spend in my spare time draining oil and stuff like that. I'd rather just pay people while I can do other stuff. So in this situation, all I could do was file a complaint, which I did, leave a review, which I did, contact the Better Business Bureau, which I have not done yet, talk to the managers. But being a consumer is not a whole lot you can do. Like, I could have gotten mad, but they still would have did the same thing. Could have inflicted violence on the guy, then I would have lost my freedom. I'll post another update if something else happens, see what the future dealerships do going forward. So definitely gonna take a walk around, pictures, mileage, all of that before getting in. Make sure that matches up on their service sheet. If it don't, I gotta complain about it, because I just can't trust these guys. And sadly, that's not even the worst dealership experience I've had. I got a video out here at my nightmare dealership, Todd Wenzel. The engine blew up on me the same day I bought the car. As is, no warranty. Thankfully, this car is under warranty, and they should take care of it. That's their thing. But it's a lot of comments. Cycle through the comments, you'll find a lot of information. Thank you guys, everybody that has commented and just sent positive messages, what I should do, and just all the feedback, the reviews that you left. It helped. So, because if nothing happened, if nobody would have said anything, this just would have been me sitting here mad about, like, man, now I got to scratch a wheel on my secondary set of tires. Appreciate you guys for watching the initial video. If you haven't, go back and watch that one. Watching this follow-up video, huge thanks to you guys. Without you, you guys put so much information out there for me to do. So, unfortunately, the Acura corporate, they were useless. The dealership was useless. But I talked to a couple more dealerships. Moving forward, I'll be working with them, and I have in the past, but the dealership that I was near was convenient. And you would think from a luxury car dealership, you would get better treatment than that. But it's not. It's the person and the culture of the dealership. Not every dealership is going to give you this experience. I can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to all dealerships. All dealerships won't treat you like this. Some dealerships will. You just got to do your due diligence. Do what you got to do on your end to what you can record to keep yourself safe. CYA. But that's all I'm going to leave y'all with. Hopefully this video sheds some light on the current situation that's going on. I just got to move forward. Don't look back. But Appreciate everybody. So that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, browse the channel, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out.